Okay, so welcome to the Web Marketing Show. Today we're very, very excited. We've got Cassie Hicks with us. Now, Cassie is for want of a better word, a mumpreneur. Is that the right terminology, Cassie?
It is, yeah. I don't particularly like that phrase, but yes, yeah.
So a mumpreneur, so a lady who's living the dream. You've spent quite a lot of your working life in the corporate world. You had a revelation one day that, hey, this is not living. This is not what I want to be doing. And like many women, no doubt across the world, you'd rather be at home with your kids, but you needed to know, you needed to obviously have an income to support that lifestyle. You've done just that. Congratulations. And now you're, in the last 3 or 4 years, you've been helping other women to do exactly the same. So, Cassie, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Lovely to be on the show.
Awesome. So, tell us your story. How did you make the transition? What was the revelation that got you to make the transition? And how's your journey been?
Oh, it's been fantastic. And I have to say, I love working at home, and I feel very appreciative and very lucky every day. I do think, gosh, I'm so lucky to be able to work from home. But my story, and I won't waffle on for too long, but I was very corporate, and I was one of these women who I could never imagine giving up work. I worked my way up from being a marketing assistant in publishing in London back in the 80s, all the way up to living and working in America and being a vice president of a trade association, and all the way up the rung. And I remember when my eldest son was born, I was actually pumping breast milk in my corner office at one stage. And I just imagined that's how my life would be. But it's funny how things change. And over time, various things happened, and I won't go into too much detail on that. But I realised I wanted to work from home, and I wanted to work for myself. And also, the marital situation was difficult. I was living abroad and I wanted to come home. So lots of different things were going on in my life. My youngest son had a terrible accident as well. And sometimes it takes quite traumatic things to happen to you in life to sort of wake you up and make you think, actually, I'm not really happy with the way things are and something needs to change. And I meet a lot of women actually when I'm out speaking, or people that I work with, and that's what I hear a lot from people. Something needs to change. And quite often people say, I don't know what to change or how to make the change, but something needs to change. So for me, I started my journey of looking for a way to work from home and had no idea what to do. I was Mrs. Corporate, I'd always done marketing business development. And I saw an ad in the local paper for an evening workshop, a Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki presentation. Yep. And I thought, well, I'll go and have a look. And it was about property investing. And I thought I was absolutely blown away with this evening, and it made me realise I can have my own business and I can do this too. And it really opened my eyes to entrepreneurship. And that was in August, I think, of 2007. By the October, I bought my first property. Nice. And as I was getting the keys to my first property, the house next door was being repossessed. I think you say foreclosed, don't you, in Australia? So the bailiffs around taking back the house next door, and I said, oh, excuse me, I've got a build team coming in here. Can I have that house as well? So I bought the one next door. So I ended up with 2. And so over a period of about a year, I built up a little portfolio, very small, but I was buying houses and splitting them into rooms. And the income from that replaced my corporate salary and allowed me to transition out of the corporate world. So that was fantastic. And you could sort of say, job done, financially free, woohoo. But of course, life doesn't always work like that. And again, various things happened. My marriage was breaking down, and I faced some sort of financial issues. Also, that the property market crashed. This is all about 2008. And I've always bought for cash, not for capital appreciation, which I'd advise anyone to do if you're in property investing or thinking about buying property. But I didn't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I'd given up this very sort of, good salary and all the perks of having a corporate job, and now I had a property portfolio and was working for myself, but I did have all my eggs in one basket. So I thought, right, now I need to find another stream of income, or multiple streams of income. And so again, I was at that sort of point where lots of people aren't they, in life, of thinking, okay, I want to do something different. I want to create an income from home. For me, it had to allow me to run my property business. to spend time with my kids. It had to be something I could do in the evenings on the computer. And I thought, I'm going to do internet marketing.
Nice.
This is going to be my thing. Yeah, absolutely. So I basically started to educate myself and teach myself, and I taught myself to build niche WordPress websites. That's how I got started.
Okay.
I think my first ever course was a Russell Brunson course. He was doing the micro continuity back at the time, 2009, 2010.
Sure.
And I just started building websites. And it took me, I think, about 4 months to build my first website. Talk about, I can tell you all the ways not to run a web business. I spent months and months and months creating this fantastic product before I had any idea whether there was a market. And I'm a marketing person.
Right.
So I made the classic mistake of creating this fantastic product and then thinking, okay, now I've got to sell it to somebody. But actually, it's quite a funny story. Having created this, it was an ebook, and it was all about divorce. And I sold a copy within the first 3 days of my website going live. This was my first ever website, my first ever ebook.
Nice.
I had no idea what I was doing, and I just put all this stuff. I followed Russell's micro continuity, built this little site, did my squeeze page, put my product up, and I sold a $17 book within 3 days.
Well done.
And I thought, I know, and I always look back now and I think, no, that $17, that showed to me that the system works.
Yes.
It's not a lot of money, is it? But it proved to me that I could make money on the internet.
It was a breakthrough. Yeah, that's right. You broke a barrier.
Yeah, I did, and I showed myself that I could. I was sort of bright enough to work out how to do it, so that gave me confidence, and also I thought I've got a system that works. Anyway, after that, I made not a bean for the next 6 months. Nothing.
So you lived on $17.
I lived on $17 for 6 months, that's right. So it was quite funny, really. So I was feeling really smug for about 3 days, and then that was it for 6 months and I was doing other things, but anyway, over that time period, I was learning and learning and learning. The micro-continuity model disappeared. I think the FSA got involved in America and stopped that system down that I was using, and I didn't really want to be in the divorce niche. I wanted to move on and focus on more positive things. So I just started building websites, and I just built myself a really nice little web business, which complements the property business.
Okay.
And just learned a lot. And sort of the high point of my online marketing career, so I'm sure this is one of your questions. I went on the Internet Marketers Cruise in January this year. My partner and I we flew to Miami and then cruised around the Caribbean with 470 internet marketers.
Wow, cool.
It was amazing. Most of them American, but we did have, I think there were some Australians and Brits, and quite a sort of a melting pot of people. And having breakfast with a top American copywriter, sales letter copywriter, and talking to people about opt-in pages, morning, noon and night is my idea of heaven.
Yeah, sure. And for many others, I imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so it was absolutely fantastic. So I sort of feel like, yes, I've really made it now. I'm making money online. It supplements my property business. I'm now able to help other people. And I'm mixing with other people who are successfully making money online. And I've met self-publishers and people that specialise in membership sites and all the different areas. And it's all tools in your toolbox, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So that's what you're still doing now? So you're churning out these niche sites even now? Yep.
I am. What happened to me a year ago, and this is a real lesson for people, I had built about 20 niche websites, so I was going along and I thought, I'm just going to keep building them and, making money from each of them as I go along, and I got hacked.
Okay.
It's about last February, and I blogged about this a lot on my blog, and I lost 15 of my first 20 sites.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, I lost all 20, but I had to go on People Per Hour or one of those sites and pay for an expert to come and help me and rebuild 5 of the sites. But I couldn't bear to rebuild everything from scratch again, which is basically what I had to do. So if anyone wants to know anything about WordPress security, come and look at my blog, because I've got videos there and WordPress plugins galore. I'm like Fort Knox now. Touch wood.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. Well, no, please don't. But again, it's all part of life's sort of learning, isn't it? That there I was thinking, oh, here I am just building these sites. This is really fun. And boom, overnight, literally, I woke up one morning and saw the skull and crossbones, and that was it. So, I suppose the lesson is to make sure, again, to have multiple streams of income. So I'm doing other things now. I've got some clients that I'm working with, and I've built a membership site. So I've got a WordPress membership site, for example, so that I've got that nice monthly income. I mean, it's not to say that those sites can't be hacked, but it's not, I suppose it's probably less vulnerable than say, a blog where you're putting, updating things all the time.
Yeah.
So I've looked to diversify online. So I've got my membership site. I've got different types of sites where I'm actually offering training as well.
So it sounds like, I mean, you've been on quite a journey, and it's been a successful one, and obviously you've had your hiccups and bumps along the way, but, just listening to your story, it sounds like, okay, so you started off with a dream, which, we all start with a dream. A lot of us don't get much further than that. So you had the dream, you had the desire, you said it's not until something really changes that you make the change. You knew you wanted to stay home with the kids, and I'm sure these, millions of people around the world want to do that. You made the transition, you did it. And, along the way, you've taught yourself how to build websites, because you're not a web developer, obviously, to start off with. You've taught yourself how to build websites. You've made money, and it's interesting to say, your first $17 for you was the major. And I remember exactly the same. When I made my first $5, it was like, hey, but it's money. Well, that's exactly right. And my first $5 was probably more important than my first, $10,000 day or whatever, because it's sort of like, that's the breakthrough to say, I can actually make money online. I can make this thing work. So you've been successful, and along the way, it sounds like you've learned a lot of things. You've learned what not to do. You've been hacked. You've learned to understand and appreciate not having, having diversification and not having all your eggs in one basket. And we all learn that the hard way. So it sounds like you're in an awesome position to teach others how to do it, which is exactly what you're doing. One of the headlines on your site is, discover how you can stay at home with the kids and still make a full-time income. Awesome headline, very, very catchy. You're mainly working with women, with your Women's Way to Wealth website. You were talking before this interview about how you've also now diversified and you're helping men as well. But your core story was you originally realised there's a lot of women out there who are very, very intelligent. They gave up work to stay home, have kids, and now they're sort of looking for something to do, and that's where you kind of come in and help them. What advice, and I know you've got some free information packs and that on your website, and we'll put a link to that shortly, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But so if there's a woman watching this show right now who's thinking to herself, I want to be in Cassie's position, I want to stop working, I want to stay home with the kids and enjoy my life, what would you do? Step one, what would you do?
I think the first thing is to look at what do you enjoy, because with the internet and social media and all the product creation tools, it's so, I don't want to say easy because that sounds really glib, but it's a level playing field. It used to be that if you wanted to publish a book, you had to get a publisher, and that was really hard. Now you can self-publish. And I'm actually working with a lady who makes millions of pounds self-publishing now and working on Amazon. And I started, you sounds like you started too with ebooks. I think whatever you feel passionate about. I mean, I've got a tool that I think I learned from a coach a long time ago called the Passion Profit Intersection. It's something I talk about on my blog as well, where the starting point for anything is to look at what do you really enjoy. And for me, I'm a real information product junkie myself, and I thought, how can I make money? I like learning and teaching myself all these things, and that's great, but I'm just expanding my knowledge and not how can I use that to create an income. Well, I use it because I'm now reviewing other people's products, applying the different strategies to my own business, and I'm also now I've got clients and training programs where I'm taking what I learn and teaching other people. So I'm making money from my love of learning, if you like.
Awesome.
And I would say, yeah, and also, another passion of mine is my dog, and my dog's got her own blog, Holly Dog Blog. to be honest, I don't really monetize that site. That's more just for me to show off pictures of my dog. But I could, if I wanted to, I could monetize my dog's blog and sell information products about border collies or games you can play. So I would say to someone listening to this that would like to have their own income from home, and don't give up your job today and jump in necessarily. Maybe start a side business, but do something. Think about what you love doing and how would you spend your time if you won the lottery. And once you've got over that initial excitement of buying the house and the yacht, what would you do when you get out of bed in the day? How would you spend your time? And that's what you love to do. And then look at the feasibility of how you can make an income. Can you make an information product? Can you help other people? Have you suffered an illness that you've recovered from that you can, use to help other people? Can you show people how to make cushions? Can you show people, are you a fantastic cook? Can you show people how to make cupcakes? Or everybody's got skills, and there are so many ways with Pinterest and Facebook, and Google Plus is the big one now, and ebooks and self-publishing and membership sites, and none of it has to cost much money. So the startup is very low cost and low risk.
Yeah.
And I say just start a side business and just see what the possibilities are, because it's so exciting. You've really got, other than your time, you've really got very little to lose.
Yes. Well, you certainly sound very, very excited, which is obviously coming from the heart. You're a person who gets up every day and does what you love. And I can't remember who it was. Somebody said if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, which is true. And we've all worked for a boss, and we've all, or most of us have, and we've done plenty of time doing things we don't like. So why would we leave working for a boss that we don't like, doing things we don't enjoy, to go home and do it for less money? Potentially, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you've hit the nail on the head. Obviously, the first thing to do is, if you're going to go into business for yourself, make sure it's something that absolutely drives you, that you're passionate about, that you leap out of bed at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep because you're so excited. You want to check the numbers, look at the stats, check your emails, have a look at your bank account, whatever it is. Do some research, and if that's what drives you, it won't be a job, and it won't be difficult. So based on that, and I was just having a look on your website. Now, you actually offer some free coaching and stuff as well. Is that right? Free coaching session?
If it's still, I do 20 minutes as sort of a prelim session. Absolutely, yes. Because I want to help. I really do feel passionate about helping other mums, because I can't think of anything worse than having to choose between your kids or a career.
Yeah. Yeah.
And money's not a reason to do anything. And you should be able, women today, it's the 21st century, you should be able to have a family and also have the self-respect and the intellectual stimulation and the challenge of running business or doing something that you love. And I really feel very strongly about that. And I think that's if you don't want to, that's fine. But I think everyone should have that choice.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that comes across very strongly, and which is why I've got you on the show, because there are a lot of people, and you've come across this, and we all see it out there, where there's a lot of people who say, I'll teach you how to make money online, pay me, $50 and I'll send you my book or whatever. The thing that I find funny is the ones that say, I'll show you how to get 10,000 likes to your Facebook page, and they've only got 100 themselves or whatever. But you're the real deal, and you are offering a bit of free coaching to help women get started. So, look, as far as I can see, you've got a ton of information on your website. You've got some free resources. Maybe tell us a little bit about what sort of products and services you've got that could help women who and men, because you were talking earlier about men. Maybe you can give us a little bit of an explanation about that. So people who want to start their own business, do what they're passionate about, find what it is that drives them, motivates them, that they love, and turn it into a profitable venture. How can Cassie Hicks help them to get started?
Well, I think I've got the ideal thing. Of course, I would say that, wouldn't I? But if you go to womenswaytowealth.com, and you said you'll put the link, didn't you?
Yes.
I've actually got there's a workshop that I run called 7 Steps to Turning Any Idea into Income. And this is all about starting business from home, passion profit intersection, and then getting started with your basic launch and marketing. And there's a video series which you can opt into on all you need to do is put your email into the box on Women's Way to Wealth, and you'll get a series of the 7 steps on video, and I've done some little short videos with lots of tips and advice, and that's like a mini version of my 2-hour workshop. So I would recommend that anybody starts with that.
Yep.
Also on Women's Way to Wealth, I've got a Make Money Blogging email course. There's a paid version and a free version. And start business on a shoestring, because that's another thing that people say a lot is, I really want to have a business but I haven't got any capital, or how can I find a grant? And I keep saying to people, you don't have to have money to start a business. It depends what it is, obviously, but for most people, if you're starting a business from home or a side business, you can bootstrap. I don't know if you know that expression, but pick it up by your bootstraps.
Shoestring, yeah, yep.
Yeah, on a shoestring, that's right. So I've got an email course as well. It's a 21-day Start Your Business on a Shoestring course. And then I must just plug my free guide, which I've just started launching on social media this week.
Cool.
It's called it's a modern marketing makeover. So it's more online marketing strategy, but I'm covering quick start guide to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Web 2.0 and social bookmarking. So it just tells you what you need to do for your online marketing strategy, and then a quick start guide in each of those different areas. It's a little guide that I'm offering for free at the moment on mmspark.com.
Okay. Well, we'll put that link up as well.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So basically, my suggestion, and I really appreciate having you on the show. It's been great. We're always excited to hear success stories like yours. You're very passionate. You can tell, we can tell that you're very, very excited about what you do. And it would be great if there were more people around in the world like yourself who were happy, enjoying what they do, and making money to pay the bills in the process. And particularly in your case, giving back by helping others to do the same. So, Cassie, I really appreciate having you on today. We're going to put the link on. Well, the link will be here now, obviously. So I strongly suggest that people have a look at your website, download some of the free resources, and if they want to get in contact with you, they can do that as well. And you can give them a bit of a helping hand to get into doing something that they love and living a life with purpose. Would that be a fair call?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And I have got clients in Australia and America, so the world is international now with Skype. So don't be put off by the British accent if you're not in the UK. It's an international world now, isn't it? And here we are chatting as if you're down the road. And
yeah, it is. The world is a much, much smaller place. So yeah, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's only an email or a Skype call away, and your advice and help that works for you in the UK is going to work just as well for anybody here in Australia as it will for anybody in the US as well. So, Cassie, thanks again for taking the time out to speak with us today. We really appreciate it, and we wish you obviously every success in your future endeavours.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been lovely. Thanks
Awesome.
very much.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks then. Bye.
Bye.